Warning: sensitive images.
How many copies of this world-shaken image would satisfy your wicked heart? Ah, why bother? It's more original and easier to multiply it by war. That's why you no want peace.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Τα προγράμματά μας προσφέρονται σε πολλές γλώσσες. Παρακαλούμε δείτε suprememastertv.com/schedule.
What good is a president who does not act in the best interests of his citizens? Although Biden promises a rosy future on many fronts, his policies and lack of effective leadership on matters such as legalizing marijuana, border protection, and troop withdrawal from Afghanistan have scarred the lives of many and continually jeopardize the safety of many innocent American citizens. Please watch on for Prophecy Part 245, Prophecies by the English Soothsayer, Mother Shipton.
Vegan, tested positive for infectious joyfulness.
Warm greetings, admirable friends. The warm-hearted people of the enchanting United Kingdom wish you a cheery good day. I'm minstrel Brianna, a skilled musician and storyteller with a fondness for reciting epic tales from the medieval age. The United Kingdom deeply admires your noble actions. May your inner light continue to shine brightly.
Warning: sensitive images.
These earth-reeling scenes shook the whole world, but they couldn't move your heart. Please tell, what did move you to stop the murderous war?
Throughout the history of mankind, the divine messages are often shrouded in mystery. Prophets, messiahs, or whichever names you call them, are often persecuted and oppressed, their words obscured. But how do we distinguish the true from the false? To do so, one can only rely on the divine's guidance, and the truth will reveal itself to those who earnestly seek it. In this episode, we will dive into additional instances where Biden completely contradicted his promises once he got into office. As prophesied by Mother Shipton's prediction, the king shall false promise make, and talk just for talking's sake.
Some samples of Biden's false claims and promises. The uncontrollable crisis due to legalizing marijuana.
The Biden administration worked on decriminalizing the use of marijuana and has publicly endorsed it. States like New York that have already legalized marijuana have lost control and are suffering from the broader use of illegal drugs altogether. It is currently affecting citizens of all ages, including children. Legalizing marijuana is linked to increased crimes with marijuana smoke shops often selling other illegal drugs. And there has been a more than 100% increase in violent robberies at illegal cannabis shops that have sprung up. A study was published on cannabis use in Colorado in 2015, not long after the drug was legalized. It found a 44% increase in cannabis-related emergency room visits at hospitals, increased traffic deaths related to marijuana, as well as higher numbers of school suspensions, hospital visits, lab explosions, and pet poisonings. Sadly, the Biden administration legalizing this mind and behavior-altering drug sends a dangerous and false signal to the US and the rest of the world that marijuana is harmless, when this is a lie.
No one should be in jail just for using or possessing marijuana.
Nobody should have to go to jail for smoking weed. Right? I am proud to formally announce that I'm signing on to the Marijuana Justice Act. It's the smart thing to do. It's the right thing to do.
Spike in edible marijuana overdoses among children. Gummies and other sweets containing a potent ingredient meant for adults are sending kids to emergency rooms in record numbers.
This is becoming an issue with more states around the country legalizing marijuana and as these edibles become more common in households with kids.
But when you learn, as I did recently, the Aurora shooter, Gabby Gifford shooter, the shooter in Texas, the Parkland shooter, all young men on marijuana.
Have problem with non-veg? Oh no, not really. It'll just destroy our world, so we don't have a problem anymore.
the border crisis.
Biden also promised to make the broader problem better, not worse. Since he has been in office, the number of illegal migrants crossing the border rose to the highest it's been in decades. He promised to treat child immigrants with compassion and sensitivity and to create a humane immigration system. But his administration has kept children detained in tent facilities during the pandemic and has tried to hide this from the media. Officials even barred non-profit lawyers who conduct oversight from entering a border patrol tent that held thousands of children and teenagers. With this influx, the crime rate is also increasing. While Biden policies were forcing Americans to get vaccinated or to lose their jobs, his administration allowed millions of people into the country who could have any number of illnesses and bad intentions.
And then open border, let anybody come in, even criminals. You don't even know who they are anyway, yeah?
Yes.
And from some, not very clear country, some with the reputation for drugs and murdering and crime and all that, smuggling and children traffickers. Some countries are reputed for that. And you just let anybody in without checking anything, yeah?
Yes.
Just maybe write out the name. You go to the court later. Will they go?
No.
And even if they go, how you prove who they are?
Yes, that's right.
And you will give them citizenship.
Thousands of unaccompanied children are now crossing into the United States from Mexico, a surge that has been growing since Biden ended the Trump administration policy that turned children back at the border. Biden made a campaign promise to treat them humanely, but the numbers of migrants are now overwhelming some border facilities. Some children are now being held in detention centers and even tents. He is now facing the same condemnation over inhumane treatment that he leveled at Donald Trump.
Warning: sensitive images.
Isn't it fun to be a country leader with all that tax money to waste in any toy project to prove that you are doing something? Or why not burn it in war so you can sit pretty in a comfort zone watching all the suffering you cause for old and young alike? But the most fun you don't know yet is the barbecue in hell with you smack in the center of the giant oven. Don't worry, it'll come sooner than you think.
The Afghanistan withdrawal crisis
Biden declared that the US would conduct a responsible and safe exit from Afghanistan after 20 years of American presence within the country.
We'll not conduct a hasty rush to the exit. We'll do it responsibly, deliberately, and safely. And we will do it in full coordination with our allies and partners, who now have more forces in Afghanistan than we do. And the Taliban should know that if they attack us as we draw down, we will defend ourselves and our partners with all the tools at our disposal.
And as the date closed nearer, US intelligence assessment said that the Afghan government would collapse soon after US withdrawal. The Taliban had been rapidly taking over cities and was narrowing in on Kabul, the capital city. But again, Biden said that the Taliban would not be able to take over Afghanistan and showed confidence in the Afghan military's capability to protect their nation.
The Taliban takeover of Afghanistan now inevitable?
No, it is not. Because you have the Afghan troops have 300,000 well equipped as any army in the world, and an air force, against something like 75,000 Taliban. It is not inevitable.
Later, it was revealed through Biden's phone call with then Afghan President Ashraf Ghani that Biden knew about what was actually happening, but was only worried about PR, thus still pushed the withdrawal.
Biden and Ashraf Ghani last spoke to each other on the 23rd of July. The transcript of that phone call is now out. Listen to what Biden told Ghani. The perception around the world and in parts of Afghanistan, I believe, is that things are not going well in terms of the fight against the Taliban, and there is a need, whether it is true or not, there is a need to project a different picture. Sounds like a smoking gun to me. Biden knew that the tide was changing. He knew that people were expecting the Taliban to win. And what did he do? He was busy managing perception. While the Taliban were running over Afghanistan. There's more from the phone call. We are also going to continue to make sure your Air Force is capable of continuing to fly and provide air support. This was Joe Biden telling a complete lie. Most US contractors left Afghanistan after July 1st. They were based in the Bagram airfield. And once Bagram was handed over, they left.
On August 15, 2021, with former President Ghani fleeing the country and the Taliban seizing Kabul, Afghanistan was in a state of complete collapse. Tragic bombings occurred that took the lives of many Afghans and 13 US citizens. A couple of days later, in an interview, Biden promised that the US military would stay until all American citizens were out of Afghanistan.
And if there's American citizens left, we're going to stay till we get them all out.
That promise was also betrayed. After the Taliban takeover, there were reportedly over 15,000 Americans left behind. A year later, more than 800 were still thought to have been in the country. And even today, there are still Americans in Afghanistan, with some taken as hostages by the Taliban.
Tell you, it's been a year since President Biden's failed withdrawal from Afghanistan, and the fallout just keeps getting worse if you're paying attention. House Republicans accusing the administration of leaving more than 800 U.S. citizens behind. That's more than 8 times what the White House has previously disclosed. They said they wouldn't leave a single person behind.
How many American citizens and licensed permanent residents are in Afghanistan today, and are any of them currently being held hostage by the Taliban?
Congressman, there are several Americans who are being detained by the Taliban. We are working to secure their freedom.
Now, those are being detained. How many other Americans?
There are about, that we're in contact with, about 175. 44 of them are ready to leave, and we are working to effectuate their departure.
In response to the inner questions of those who wonder how such a so-called leader could act in this way, our most beloved Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, shared her insights.
There is another solid reason why Biden behaves the way he does, and why Harris and Pelosi behave the way they do.
Oh, what is that reason, Master?
I don't know if I should tell you. Because the zealous demons are possessing them. That's why sometimes he stumbles for words. And he can't even make out what the real sense is.
I see.
Yeah, Biden, he's controlled by the zealous demons.
Right.
The people who open the third eye can see that.
Understand.
Yeah, most of the time he is possessed by zealous demons. So you see, the previous policy, he let all the Mexicans or other Central American immigrants come in, without any reason, truly.
Yes.
I mean, without America, Mexicans and other Central Americans, they're still living okay.
Yeah.
It's just that he's tempting them with a life of luxury and all that, and let them go everywhere, carrying a lot of risks for the good citizens of America when they are already struggling with all kinds of violence, protests and looting and the pandemic.
Yes.
And it gets worse. That's not fair.
No.
He did the opposite.
Yeah.
The reason is that some more people will die.
Oh.
And the leftover zealous demons who are still hiding in humans' bodies that can feast on the dead couple.
Oh.
Because these people, they die in agony. That is exactly the energy that they need in the dead flesh that they consume. Understand me?
Yes, Master, understand.
That's why. And Afghanistan also, he dilly-dally until many people died like that. More than 100 people died, including Americans and Taliban. So, all these dead people are food for the zealous demons.
Yes, Master.
And for that reason, he has an excuse to revenge. And more dead people for the zealous demons. This is what heaven told me. I confirmed with heaven. Now you know he is possessed. They use him.
That explains.
So sometimes he cannot control his speech or his body. That's why he fought and he stumbled with his talk and all that stuff and decided the things that are against all logic and reason, against all fashion that other people would do if they proclaim that they love their country and their co-citizens.
Yes, Master.
Completely opposite.
Right.
So that more people would die.
Oh.
And then they kill them and they return to kill them and I kill you, you kill me. He just destroys peace.
Yeah, true.
I mean, not destroy, but damaging and kind of restarting the devil's circle. The vicious circle of vengeance.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very important that the world should be vegan because it will save our planet. Dairy and egg farming is just as toxic and dangerous as the meat industry. It causes all kinds of emissions and gases and erodes the ozone layer. Kerry Walsh, vegan.
Respected viewers, thank you for your presence today. Please join us next week as we continue to explore the intriguing perspectives of the notable mystic Mother Shipton. Coming up next is Isadora Duncan, Expressing the Soul's Luminosity Through Dance, Part 1 of 2, right after Noteworthy News. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. May your spiritual path be illuminated with love, compassion, and kindness towards yourself and everyone around you.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds, hell not reach.
Russia, leave Ukraine or your reign now. Peace be with you too.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/AP